This woman is a winner. So, you know, we've become very close friends all of a sudden because their stock market today and our stock market today hit an all-time high. That means we're doing something right. But the cherished alliance between the United States and Japan is one of the most remarkable relationships in the entire world. And I have such respect for Japan and the country, and now I have a really great respect for the new and incredible Prime Minister.
The president talking with the Prime Minister of Japan there as President Trump addresses our troops overnight on board the USS George Washington at Japan's Yokosuka Naval Base. This on the heels of the meeting with Japan's newly elected Prime Minister, Sanai Takaichi. Both leaders signed framework agreements to secure rare earth mineral supplies through mining and processing. They're exploring a joint stockpiling arrangement to strengthen the security of both supply chains. The two even watched some of the 18-innings-long Game 3 of the World Series together. Joining me now is legal and political strategist and former World Bank and IFC counsel Katie Zechariah. Katie, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Your reaction, and what about the defense strategy for the U.S. to partner with Japan in this way?
Maria, good morning. It's so nice to see President Trump's new friendship with the Japanese Prime Minister, and also to see, as President Trump, ahead of this meeting with Xi Jinping, as President Trump is building these regional partnerships, regional friendships all over during this trip. This is instrumental for the United States because President Trump has to show China that eventually we will not need to make these deals with them, and we have this autonomy, and this is part of what he's doing with Japan. And so I think it's absolutely brilliant, and to see this new friendship again from Shinzo Abe now to Takaichi is beautiful, Maria.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a deal with Australia. He's done deals with Malaysia, Taiwan, while in Asia. And Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick just said we're going to be signing $490 billion of investment. He said these deals are driven by the Japanese Strategic Investment Initiative, which was created by your tariff policy and by your historic trade agreement with Japan, the Commerce Secretary said to the president. I imagine much of this is aligning his Asian allies around him ahead of this important meeting he's having with Xi Jinping on Thursday.
Absolutely. It's this beautiful carrot and stick process that only President Trump can do as he's making these deals. He has to build the regional friendships. Malaysia, we see this huge LNG purchase and then coal purchase, and then this relationship that he did with Australia a week before he left. That was not on accident. As you see, he's gaining this momentum with all of their strategic partners, also using this potential threat, as Secretary Bessent said, of 100% tariffs against China, to both say we are willing to make a deal, and we're not going to be, we're not going to allow you to use leverage of the rare earth magnets, the rare earth minerals over us. We are going to secure those deals around other countries as well, Maria.
Yeah, and the president is expected to discuss a trade deal with Xi Jinping. They will meet in South Korea in a day, Thursday. The U.S. coming up with a framework deal with Beijing between Secretary Bessent and his counterparts to discuss economic issues like rare earth flow as well as chips. Here's the president this week on that watch.
What we understood yesterday or 2 days ago or even today is not going to be necessarily what it's going to be in 2 days. We're going to have a great talk. I have a lot of respect for President Xi. I like him a lot. He likes me a lot, I believe, and respects me. And I think he respects our country a lot. And I think we're going to have a successful transaction for both countries. If we have China coming, and it's going to be very interesting. I have a lot of respect for President Xi, and we are going to, I think we're going to come away with a deal. But I really feel good. Our country is doing so well economically. It's doing so incredibly well.
So what about that? The president signed trade deals with multiple Asian countries, while in Malaysia he did a peace deal between Thailand and Cambodia and a trade deal for rare earth minerals, escaping China's tight export controls on this very much needed hot commodity. Katie, what can the president get done with China? I mean, Scott Bessent seemed to suggest that the 100% tariff on Chinese goods was off the table at this point.
Well, what it looked like, and what Secretary Bessent had also alluded to, is he said that China was willing to maybe pause for a year their rare earth mineral export issue, and then in exchange, us release the 100% tariff. So coming ahead and making a deal. And I think what is also key, Maria, here is looking at what President Trump had already done with Israel, Hamas, and then Iran having said they want to come to the table as well, because China is the key 90% exporter of Iranian crude oil. And if you do not have these other countries willing to make deals around President Trump and put pressure and regional pressure with China, they are not going to rescind that pressure on those 90% of the rare earth mineral exports. So President Trump, Scott Bessent are just doing this incredible job at striking a deal with China, but also making sure that they're not going to be too comfortable with their secure oil pipeline, potentially with Iran.
Yeah, we should point out that the Supreme Court decision and the hearing on the president's use of emergency with regard to tariffs is happening next week on November 5th. Katie will be watching all of that. Good to catch up. Thank you. Katie Zachariah joining us this morning.